All lies will be exposed. That's all.
If you win, you get a night out with Diddy.
I had no idea what kind of wild ride I was getting into.
Saturday night in New York, and I promise you, your ass will wake up Wednesday laying beside me.
Yo, what's poppin', GE gang? It's your boy FUUSHNICKA, man. We back with another reaction video. Today, man, guess what? We got part 3 of the Surviving Diddy. Just when you didn't think it could get no worse, and there are about 5 parts to this, you feel me? Just when we didn't think it could get no worse, we got more action. We got action. We got action. You feel me? It's gonna get crazy and more crazier. Hollywood's like a ghost town right now. Ain't nobody saying a word. They trying to hide, pay, snip, dip, lit, and trip. Everybody. So them names don't come out. You feel me? So make sure you haven't subscribed to the channel. Subscribe right now. And go ahead while you're doing that, man. Tap that like button. You feel me? And at the end of the video, go ahead, drop that comment and share the video as well. You feel me? About to tap into the Surviving Diddy part 3. And let's see how crazy it's gonna get, man. You feel me?
All lies will be exposed. That's all.
If you win, you get a night out with Diddy.
I had no idea what kind of wild ride I was getting into.
Saturday night in New York, and I promise you, your ass will wake up Wednesday laying beside me. Good morning. I can see you in your room.
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Wow.
Check this out. You clear on that. You understand now. I'm asking myself, why do I have you here?
I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
And you may not be here then. And anybody want to go with you, they could go too.
Hey, stop screaming. Hey, it's just me, P. Diddy. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We're going out on like a date, a straight guy date.
Y'all call me Diddy. Call me Diddy. Okay. But when I'm being loved and I'm in that mood, because I have to always remind myself we live in a toxic world.
You say you don't like me? You get to it. If you don't like me, you in front, get to it, bitch.
And it's love versus hate. That's what's going on right now. Yeah. And I choose love.
You want to have love? It's without the what's up? Fucking come over here and I'll bust your Nah, hey, keep it Make sure you don't never talk to me.
That's my new name, and love wins. Love wins. Let's go, y'all.
I leave 30 minutes for the devil get there. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, there you go.
That's what Denzel told me. Leave 30 minutes for the devil get there.
You can call me Love.
Hold on, man. All of a sudden, this nigga want to be the devil his whole life. Now he want to change his name to Love and be Love when he want to. The devil about to come out, my guy. All that love cover up is about to be over with. And check this out, man. Listen, we like Kat said, all 2024 has been going down. Young Thug just got out. He just beat his case, you feel me? I mean, he got some years on probation, whatever. But it seemed like he want to go back, tweeting all and doing all that extra. Man, listen, just chill, bro. Y'all just can't sit back and enjoy the freedom. You've been locked up for how many months? How many years? Man, sit your ass down, bro. Young Thug, get out. Lil Durk go in. I don't think Lil Durk gonna get the same results as Young Thug. Boy, they got some shit on Lil Durk. They got some on Diddy. I think they actually gonna do the time. You feel me? Like it's getting crazy. Why they do that? That nigga try to play with Mike Tyson. That's the crazy part. You gotta be a different brain to be like trying to diddle Mike Tyson on the couch. You know what I'm saying? The diddler.
I don't know if this is just made up myth or if this is true, but I'm told that when you go to a hotel, anytime you go to a hotel, you don't just check in the way everybody else does. You send someone ahead to prepare the hotel room for you.
No, it's called preparing the sexy.
Preparing the sexy.
Yeah.
What's preparing the sexy?
I mean, when I walk in, I definitely take pride in being the originator of the preparation of the sexy.
Yes.
Yes, and that's candles. I like candles. I like tuberose. I'm into baths.
The hell's a tuberose?
You know, so I like my bath at the right temperature. It's just little things that I personally like. I like my room to be sexy.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, the Kardashians, Kanye West, Paris Hilton, Russell Simmons were just a few names who were on the guest list of numerous Diddy parties. But who was on the freak-off guest list? Who remained silent for years? and knew what was actually going on behind the scenes after the party ended. And speaking of behind the scenes, it's the middle of a lavish star-studded dinner in West Hollywood. The kind of exclusive event where the air smells like power and privilege. And the guest list is packed with names that command respect in every room they walk into. But behind the glittering smiles and clinking glasses, something far more disturbing is unfolding. Sean Diddy Combs, the man behind Bad Boy Records, the mogul who built an empire from nothing, suddenly swings his fist. His target? Cassie Ventura, his then girlfriend who doubles over in pain as the punch lands squarely in her stomach.
Boy, that video is cold. That I don't care about nothing else. Even if that video alone, I don't care if he paid it or not. Bro, you got to go do some time for that. Hitting on a woman like that, a beautiful woman like that, bro. Young, took advantage of her and manipulated her, bro. You got to go do some time for that one for sure, if nothing else. And it just came out that during those freak-offs and all those parties, Diddy had people sign NDAs. That said they can't talk about it, they can't speak on it for life. And then 15 years after that, so even after life, you can't speak about it. That lets you know some weird shit was going down in there, boy. That boy wasn't playing. NDAs for life, plus 15 years. Shitting me.
Around them, silence. Neo and Usher continue to chat. Jimmy Levine barely even blinks. The dinner continues. Power, as always, shields the powerful. We hear stories like this and wonder how a man who once represented the very definition of success could become a figure entangled in allegations of abuse, manipulation, and violence.
When I die, I want my last words to be, I did it.
In the world of psychology, there's a well-documented theory that power corrupts.
You did it, all right.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. The allure of control is seductive, and once someone tastes it, they're often unwilling to let it go. Power doesn't just change what a person can do. It changes how they see the world and themselves within it. Those at the top often begin to feel invincible, their actions justified by the very systems that support them. They're not inherently evil. They're made that way by a combination of success, unchecked influence, and a surrounding environment that rewards their worst behaviors. Sean Diddy Combs wasn't born into this world as a villain. He was shaped by it.
Because I'm public enemy number one.
As a young man who navigated the cutthroat music industry, learning quickly that kindness didn't build empires. He built his career on hustling.
I am the fucking hardest hustler in the world.
On being 2 steps ahead of the game and on ruthlessly seizing opportunities. But somewhere along the way, that hunger for success turned into something darker.
Look at that look,
As
man.
we discussed in previous episodes of Surviving Diddy on how his erratic behavior came about from his dad being fatally shot when he was just 3 and a drug deal gone wrong, to his mom being an escort that had sex with clients in front of him, and finally,
Crazy.
Diddy throwing wild college parties at an early age at Howard University. There is one more significant person that has contributed to him and to the person he has became.
Ooh, who that is? Who
And
is
that is Clive Davis.
Mr. Davis, you're a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid?
You know, we shared conventions and conferences and...
About Diddy, he credits you as one of his mentors.
He was a hungry young executive, eager to prove himself in the brutal music industry. And every prodigy needs a mentor, someone to guide them, mold them, and, whether consciously or not, groom them. For Diddy, that mentor was Clive Davis, the music industry titan who had already shaped the careers of legends like Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin. Davis, known for his sharp eye for talent and his unmatched understanding of the industry's power dynamics, saw potential in Combs. But what Davis imparted to Combs wasn't just about crafting hit records. It was about how to wield power in an industry where success is often built on control, manipulation, and outmaneuvering your competitors. To the young Combs, Davis wasn't just a mentor. He was a puppet master, carefully pulling the strings and showing him the rules of the game. And like any eager apprentice, Combs absorbed everything. Davis taught him how to survive and thrive in a cutthroat business that rewarded aggression and dominance. The relationship between Davis and Combs exemplifies a well-documented psychological dynamic in high-pressure industries, the mentor-apprentice power hierarchy. In this dynamic, the mentor is not only a guide, but a figure who often shapes the moral and ethical boundaries, or lack thereof, of their prodigy. In a sense, Combs' early grooming under Davis was a process of socialization into a world where the lines between right and wrong were blurred. Research in psychology shows that when individuals are mentored by powerful figures, they are often taught not only how to succeed, but also how to use others to maintain that success.
Facts.
This dynamic creates a kind of moral distortion where the apprentice becomes increasingly comfortable with bending or breaking rules to achieve their goals. Combs learned early that success in the music industry wasn't just about talent, it was about power. How to gain it, how to hold it, and how to use it to shape the world around you. The monster that Diddy would later become wasn't born in the streets of Harlem. It was carefully crafted in the boardrooms of record labels under the watchful eyes of men like Clive Davis. And while Davis may have given Combs the tools to build an empire, he also, knowingly or unknowingly, contributed to the creation of a man who would eventually use those tools for far darker purposes. By the time Diddy launched Bad Boy Entertainment in 1993, he had already internalized the lessons of power and control from his mentor. He was no longer just a talented young executive, he was a man on a mission, driven by a relentless hunger for success. Bad Boy was his kingdom, and Diddy was its king. But beneath the glitz, glamour, and platinum records, something more insidious was happening. The man who once hustled his way to the top was now becoming the very kind of puppet master who had once admired. But this time, the strings he pulled weren't just for the sake of success. They were for control, domination, and eventually, destruction. In October 2007, Sean Diddy Combs made what would become one of the most pivotal moves in his career. The groundbreaking partnership with Diageo, the global liquor giant. In this deal, Combs was not just an ambassador, but a partner in the marketing and development of Ciroc vodka. It wasn't merely about pushing a product, it was about crafting an image. Diddy didn't just promote Ciroc, he became Ciroc. Under his influence, the brand skyrocketed from an obscure, struggling vodka label to a symbol of luxury, success, and high living. Sales soared, and Diddy earned the nickname the Ciroc King.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know nothing about no Ciroc until I saw Diddy promoting it everywhere on social media, talking about it in the music. That's when I knew who Ciroc was, and then just all the flavors he was talking about, it made you want to taste it. It made you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just all these flavors in the bottle, the presentation. Like, I'm big on a visual person, you know what I'm saying? So visually, it looked appealing. And I'm not even a big drinker. I social drink, you feel me? And I don't social no more, so I don't drink, you feel me? But just that name alone, like, Diddy did do that, you feel me? And I felt like he wanted a piece of the pie, and I feel like that's why that motherfucker crumbling right now, because white people said no sirski.
A title that carried with it more than just financial success. It cemented his place as an untouchable figure in both the music and business worlds. But with this partnership came something more dangerous than financial gain. It fueled Combs' already growing sense of invincibility. The allure of being not just a media mogul, but a business tycoon, played into the intoxicating effect that fame and wealth can have on an individual. For Combs, the Ciroc deal was more than just a business venture. It was an emblem of power, and he began to believe in his own myth. The more successful he became, the more untouchable he felt. Psychologically, this taps into the phenomenon of addiction, though not necessarily to substances like alcohol or drugs, but to power, status, and attention. Research in psychology has drawn parallels between substance addiction and the addiction to fame and control. The more one consumes, the more they need to maintain that high, And in Diddy's case, the high came from not just his financial success, but from the social status that the Ciroc brand afforded him. Being the Ciroc king didn't just make him rich, it made him feel almighty. His identity became so entangled with the brand's success that losing control in any aspect of his life became an unthinkable prospect. While Diddy basked in the glow of his Ciroc-fueled success, darker forces seemed to be gathering on the horizon. In recent years, speculation has surfaced that Diageo may have had a hand in some of Diddy's legal troubles, particularly those related to his high-profile lawsuits against the company, in which he accused Diageo of racial discrimination. That theory suggests that Diddy's sharp rise to power within the company made him a target, not just of competitors, but of Diageo itself. In 2024, Diddy filed a $1 billion lawsuit against Diageo, claiming they were limiting the distribution of Ciroc and De Leon tequila in predominantly black neighborhoods, and that the company had subjected him to discriminatory treatment. Conspiracy theories often arise when the lines between business, power, and legality blur, and this situation is no exception. The theory stands that Diageo, unwilling to continue sharing the spotlight with Diddy or face accusations of racism, may have used its corporate clout to entangle him in legal issues, hoping to weaken his public image and, by extension, his grip on the Ciroc empire. While there's no concrete evidence to
see what happens when you put your all into something that's not even yours, and that skyrocket, you know what I'm saying? And then the people that you helped out feel like it's getting too big, it's getting bigger than them, and they pull the rug from under you. Sound like that's what happened. Like, okay, man, you did your job. No, be gone. You feel me? We got where we want to be. And then obviously the power he felt while being already a rich man, and the money he was making from just promoting Ciroc, like, I want a piece of that now. You feel me? A $1 billion lawsuit? God damn.
To support this theory, the culture of corporate influence in media and law isn't far-fetched. Large corporations, as history has shown, often have the power to manipulate public perception and control narratives behind the scenes. Could Diddy have been a victim of this kind of corporate manipulation? It's not outside the realm of possibility. Psychologically, this scenario reveals a fascinating conflict in powerful individuals like Combs, the struggle between seeing oneself as a victim and a villain. But this struggle between victimhood and villainy is where the cracks in Diddy's empire begin to show. The more power he amassed, the more paranoid and disconnected from reality he became. It's a tale as old as time. The king, once revered, begins to see enemies everywhere, and in his paranoia, he begins to destroy the very foundation upon which his empire was built. This conspiracy theory, whether rooted in fact or fiction, speaks to a larger truth about the intoxicating nature of power. When individuals like Diddy reach the heights of success, they are often surrounded by psychopaths and enablers who allow them to believe they are untouchable. But as history has shown, the higher one climbs, the further they have to fall. Right. And in Diddy's case, the very forces that once propelled him to the top may have been conspiring to pull him back down. In August 2006, Danity Kane's self-titled debut album, released under Combs Bad Boy Records and Atlantic Records, skyrocketed to success, debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200. For many, this marked the height of Diddy's creative vision, where his ability to sculpt talent became undeniable. However, beneath this facade, Dawn Richard would later reveal the cracks in this supposed triumph. Her lawsuit, filed years later, painted a vastly different picture, where the album's success was overshadowed by unpaid labor and broken promises.
That's some little teenage boy control. He used to controlling everything. He used to rejection. I believe her.
Richard estimated her damages to be around $1 million. Money she claimed she never received for her work on the very project that put Bad Boys Girl Group at the top of the charts. The success of Danity Kane wasn't just built on musical talent. It was constructed on exploitation, with Combs at the center, pulling strings behind the scenes. While Diddy's success with Danity Kane made headlines, another story unfolded quietly in the shadows that same month. According to an October 2024 lawsuit, Combs hosted one of his infamous Hamptons white parties, but this particular party ended in something far darker. A male bodyguard, working under the pretense of security, alleges that Combs drugged and assaulted him during the event. After being given a drink, the bodyguard, later referred to as John Doe in legal documents, immediately felt disoriented and ill. What followed was a nightmare. Combs allegedly forced him into a van and sexually assaulted him. This incident marks a pivotal shift in the narrative surrounding Combs. The luxurious setting of the Hamptons party juxtaposes the horror of the alleged assault, demonstrating how unchecked power and privilege can mask monstrous behaviors. Psychologically, the act of violating someone's autonomy in such a calculated manner points to deeper issues of control, dominance, and sadistic tendencies, traits often buried beneath a carefully cultivated public persona. By 2007, Diddy's public persona was still largely intact, but incidents like the assault at Teddy's nightclub began chipping away at the surface. Gerard Richnitzer, a victim of Diddy's explosive temper, filed a lawsuit after an altercation outside Teddy's nightclub at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. According to Richnitzer, Combs not only punched him, but also pushed his girlfriend and attempted to spit on another woman. Combs' legal team was quick to respond, labeling the accusations as fabricated attempts to exploit his celebrity status. The case was settled out of court a year later, leaving many to wonder if Richnitzer's claims held more truth than fiction. The psychological insight here points to Diddy's growing sense of impunity. As his fame and wealth soared, so did his belief that he was untouchable, able to rewrite reality to suit his needs. By May 2007, the facade began to crack further. Lori Ann Gibson, a choreographer and co-star in Making the Band, filed a complaint against Combs, alleging that he threatened her with a chair while New Edition's Michael Bivins held her in place. This incident, which allegedly took place during the production of their reality show, shows how Diddy's public persona as a charismatic mogul often masks volatile, even violent behavior.
So did you miss me when you was away from me? Huh?
Nope.
Did you miss me? Huh?
You?
Did you miss me?
Honestly?
Yeah. You didn't miss me? Huh?
No.
You didn't miss me?
No.
You didn't miss me a little bit?
That nigga
No,
feel
I did
rejection.
not.
Did you miss me?
Nigga, no. That nigga getting upset now.
Sometimes.
Check this out. We missed you.
Combs' attorney dismissed the claims as theatrics performed for the cameras, further deflecting attention from the growing pattern of abuse allegations. This moment serves as a microcosm of how the entertainment industry's power structures can become breeding grounds for abuse. When public personas and private actions clash, it's often those at the lower rungs of the hierarchy who suffer the most. By May 2008, the allegations against Combs escalated in both severity and explicitness. According to an October 2024 lawsuit, Combs assaulted a John Doe sales associate in the back room of Macy's Herald Square flagship store. The victim, who worked for a rival clothing brand Echo, described a violent encounter where Combs struck him in the head, causing him to collapse onto his hands and knees. What followed was a chilling act of oral rape, a clear exercise in both sexual and psychological dominance. The lawsuit describes Combs as flanked by bodyguards, a scene that amplifies the sense of calculated brutality. After the assault, Combs reportedly left the back room as if nothing had happened, handing out merchandise to the adoring crowd on the retail floor. The seamless shift from violence to public adulation illustrates the duality of Combs' persona: publicly charming, privately monstrous. From a psychological perspective, this incident underscores the role of narcissistic entitlement and sexual aggression in those who believe they are untouchable. The public, enamored by his fame, remains oblivious to the depths of his cruelty, feeding into his belief that he is above consequence. In 2008, Danity Kane disbanded, leaving Richard in a precarious position within Bad Boy Records. Despite the group's dissolution, Richard continued working with Combs, now as part of a trio with Kalina Harper in a group called Dirty Money. But with this new venture came heightened control and abuse from Combs. Richard's lawsuit details numerous incidents of sexual harassment and abuse during this period. Combs allegedly barged into her dressing room unannounced, groped her during fittings, and even ordered her to strip during rehearsals. These actions were not just invasions of privacy, but demonstrations of control, an assertion of power over Richard's autonomy and dignity. When Richard resisted, Combs retaliated by denying her singing parts in their songs, manipulating her career as punishment for her defiance. Psychologically, this paints a picture of an individual who wields power not just for professional dominance, but for personal gratification. The cycle of manipulation, retaliation, and control mirrors the dynamics of an abusive relationship, where the abuser uses their power to entrap their victim. One of the most chilling allegations to surface during this period involved Diddy's alleged threats against rapper Kid Cudi. In 2012, it was reported that Diddy had threatened to have Cudi's car blown up for dating Cassie Ventura briefly. The car bombing represented the lengths to which Diddy would go to maintain his power, even if it meant engaging in criminal, violent behavior. Shortly thereafter, Kid Cudi did, in fact, explode under mysterious circumstances. The mind of someone who resorts to such extreme tactics is often driven by deep-seated insecurity and fear of losing control. Diddy's escalating actions during this period reflect a man who, despite his public success, was unraveling psychologically. The more power he gained, the more paranoid and aggressive he became, willing to go to any lengths to protect his empire, even if it meant destroying those around him. As we conclude this episode into the journey of Sean Combs, one must ponder, what truly defines a monster? Is it the choices they make, or is it the circumstances that shape them? Can someone who has wielded immense power and inflicted pain ever find a path to redemption? These questions echo in the minds of many who followed the rise and fall of influential figures. They challenge us to reflect not only on the complexities of human behavior, but also on our roles as witnesses and participants in this spectacle of fame, power, and morality. What happens when the monster is the person we once idolized? Sean Combs' story is far from over, and as we watch the unfolding drama of his life, it raises a critical point for all of us. How do we hold those in power accountable while navigating the blurred lines between idorization and revulsion? If you've enjoyed this episode, subscribe to our channel and be sure to get caught up on surviving.
Man, that's crazy, bro. Just when you think it no worse than just seeing how all the pieces like fit together, you feel me? And like how it's going down and how it might have crumbled and the rise of power, man. I remember just watching how Diddy came up, like the stories all over, you know what I mean? When MTV was around and shit like that. How he went from being a background dancer to being what he is. You know what I'm saying? It's like black men want to be like him. It's like, man, this motherfucker a billionaire. Like, what? From being a background dancer to being a billionaire, bro? That's hard work, dedication, bro. Like, I'm trying to be that. To seeing all the shit, like he said, revered in public, a monster behind closed doors. Like, you would have never thought this was going on behind closed doors. Like, you heard all the whispers and you thought it was just, people attacking them because they felt like they deserve more. But when they tell you, man, when somebody tell you what they feel like what they worth and what they know they worth and what they didn't get paid, man, you got to believe them. Too many people passed away under him. Too many people came against him and said he wasn't paid. And just too much retaliation, you feel me? Like, a lot of this is probably true. We already know some of it is true from Cassie, right? That was caught on film. That's undeniably true. You know what I mean? Like, him settling other cases outside of, you know what I'm saying? Because most likely they were true. It's going to all come into light, man. I don't know what's going to be exposed in the court, but the NDAs was signed. I don't know what's going to be able to be talked about, but I'm sure they got plenty of evidence and, they're going to make a case of it. We're going to see how much time Diddy do, man. If you enjoyed the video, man, like I said, give that thing a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, man, so go ahead and drop that subscription button. Like, hit that motherfucker right up, man. Then drop it in the comment section. Let's talk about it, man. Where you guys at with Diddy? You guys think he's going to get the same kind of... Listen, I feel like Young Thug honestly won that case because of Woody, bro. Woody played the most dumbest criminal I've ever seen witness on TV in a trial, bro. I feel like that's the only reason that Thug won that. That shit had to be like a mistrial. It's like, Woody was just up there. I don't know. Like, how you ask me something I don't know? Like, bro, that was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. I feel like that's why he won that, man. So he needs to actually thank Woody, bro, because Mans was about to get 45 years. You feel me? But yeah, I don't think this situation gonna turn out the same. Same for Lil Durk, man. They went to the iCloud and got a bunch of stuff off the iCloud for Lil Durk. Durk gonna sit down. You feel me? It is what it is. But go ahead and tap in into the next video. Next video is gonna be part 4. We're gonna run it up. It's your boy FUUSHNICKA, man. I'm out this motherfucker. Gone.